Reader reaction is for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and you come back. Why? Because it's time. Time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Well, it's the same damn place it always is. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman, he's a scholar, as well as a man of commerce. Slip that man what you should, and he's going to point you in the right direction. He's going to tell you to take a left, and then a right, and as you find yourself strolling down the damn street, you're going to pass a deep, dark alley to your immediate left. Or is it your immediate right? Well, when you feel that cool breeze hit you, that chills you right to your skeletal core, and you find yourself asking, is that the autumn wind? You'll know which way it is, 'cause you're goddamn right! At the end of that deep dark alley, you're gonna find a special little place that we like to call Deep Behind the Enemy Line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, it's the Raider Nation Report with yours truly, a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. And there is a lot going on in the Raider world, as well as the NFL world in general. As you have the NFL owners meeting going on in Arizona, as it's actually wrapping up tonight, was scheduled to wrap up tomorrow morning, but they are pushing through. They're going to wrap it all up tonight and shelve all the rest of official business till the next meetings in May. So everything is getting wrapped up tonight, and we are going to hit the high points here right out of the gate, because that is relatively the biggest news. I mean, well, we're going to touch on all the other stuff that I know you guys got stored up, but let's hit the hot points from today's action straight from the NFL owners meeting. I get official NFL press releases now emailed directly to me, since I'm officially considered part of the NFL media now. Gotta love that shit. Why the hell would they let me be a part of the official NFL media? I have no idea. But I am. And I get official press releases, and I get behind-the-scene video footage from the NFL owners meeting that they tell me I'm not supposed to show anywhere. Man, it's a bad idea telling me I'm not supposed to do things. It's a real bad idea. It usually doesn't go well. So, we'll see if I can maintain these credentials through the entire season. I'm going to do my best. But, I digress. Some of the biggest things, one of the biggest, obviously, items on the plate for this owners meeting was the non-call reviewable plays. Obviously, it was brought about by the Saints Rams outcome, and the constant and continual crying by the Aints fan base, whatever the fuck they call themselves, the who bitches, or whatever they are. We have officially placed them back in the dead center of the kiddie table due to their, constant bitching. So the Aints are sitting right in the middle. So the non-call reviewable plays, it's something that's definitely going to be put in, but it doesn't look like it's going to get a strong implementation this year. Owners strongly in favor of it, coaches strongly in favor of it. Owners, it's not so much the fact that they don't want to see the change. It's more of the details of it. And it doesn't look like that is going to be an item that is going to make it through. There are many different options that have been put out there. Let me throw my 2 cents and my hat in the ring and how I think it should be handled. I think all plays should be reviewable, period, up until the last 2 minutes of each half, just like it currently is. You get only 2 reviews, period. That's all you get. 2 reviews. So you get 2 challenges that you can have a play reviewed. That's it. That's all each coach gets. You get 2, a half. And then the last 2 minutes, it goes to the booth where any play is reviewable. Any play. You only got 2. You want to challenge that holding call? Go ahead. You only got 2. You only get 2, period. Whether you get it right or wrong. Doesn't fucking matter. You get 2. You got it wrong? Hey, it's a fucking gamble. We told you only got 2. So what's that gonna do? You're gonna keep that son of a bitch in your pocket till it gets down towards the end of the game. And now that any play is reviewable, including in the last 2 minutes of the game by the booth, the call on the sideline, the egregious call that happened in the Rams-Saints game will automatically go to the booth. Even though there was no flag called, they're going to look at that play, instantly bang, bang. Because, I mean, Jesus Christ, before the guys' bodies even hit the ground, us at home are already seeing the fucking review. So the fact that they can't look at it in like 10 seconds and be like, oh, hold on a second. Before they're even the other teams back in the huddle, they should already know that, wait a second, we need to stop and look at this for a second. And they can stop play and take a quick look at it. With the technology that we have, it's I think they announced that around draft time, Tony, but I will look into that for you. I'll have that answer for you. With the technology they have, there's no reason we can't do something. There's been talks of the Sky Judge, which is something that the subpar football league that's playing right now is going on. So, which I don't know. It's like, what is it? He's the ominous freaking ref in the sky, I guess. For some reason, the referee union has been, or whatever the hell they call themselves, has been bucking the idea of having an 8th official added to the field of play. I don't understand why you would buck adding an extra person down there that's just assigned with maybe, watching defensive holding or pass interference. That's all the guy does. What would that hurt? Having an extra guy, an extra set of eyes down there. It's not like the NFL can't fucking afford it. So I don't understand why there was pushback on that. So it does not honestly look like you're going to see a decision on that. Final decision's been shelved on that till May. They're probably going to discuss it again. But it's not looking like something like that's going to be implemented. For what they put out there, the reason a lot of the owners and coaches didn't go for it is because basically of the verbiage. It's the fact that everybody knows that rule needs to be put in place. The tweak needs to be made because obviously when you've got a call like what happens in that game where everybody and their mother's uncle could see that was at least a helmet to helmet, a pass interference. Christ, you could have called a flag 3 different ways and nothing was called in a game like that. And the fact that there was no consistency in the way the officials called either one of the championship games in the playoffs. It looked like it was night and fucking day. One game was called tight and the other game was called loose, and there was no consistency in the call of the NFL officials. And there's a lot of shit they need to get right. But it doesn't look like you're going to see a major change put in place because I don't think they have all of the details figured out. So we'll see. Now, one of the other big things that they're talking about in the owners' meeting was the overtime rule, which was obviously pushed out there by the Chiefs. Shocker, because they think both teams should touch the ball in overtime. Now, I am on probably the minority side of the fence on this one. I have no problem, zero problem, with the way overtime has always been set up my entire life. It goes to overtime. Whoever the fuck scores first wins. Period. Flip the coin. And if you go back statistically, the team that wins the flip of the coin less than 50% of the time actually wins the game. So the fact that somebody would say, oh, well, if you flip the coin, you got the best chance to win. No, that's not true. Statistically, it is proven that it's less than 50%. The team that wins the coin flip wins the game. Historically in the NFL. Period. So you can't throw that argument at me because the numbers do not support it. So, my opinion on the overtime rules is this. You're given a certain amount of time to play your game. The amount of time in regulation before the final whistle blows to win the game. You are supposed to do everything in your power to win the game in regulation. If you don't win in regulation, you now have went into this realm of chance where you have now taken a lot of the control out of your own hands. That's by your own fault. A lot of times teams choose to go to overtime instead of risk possibly losing the game at the end of regulation. The object of the game is to win it within the confines of the starting whistle and the final whistle. Period. It's the rules of the game. You play to win the fucking game. You win the game, it's over. You want to tie and go to overtime? Well, guess what? It's going to a fucking coin flip. And either your offense or your defense is going to have an opportunity to win the game for you right out of the gate. And it's going to come down to a game of chance. If you're willing to take that, then yeah, go ahead. Go for the extra point instead of going for 2. Go ahead. Go ahead and kick that field goal to tie and eat up the clock. Instead of go ahead and try to drive in and score that winning touchdown. Go ahead and do that. Take the gutless way and go to overtime in your game of chance. Go ahead. I have no problem with the overtime rules the way they were my entire life. Leave it the fuck alone. Please leave it alone. Blindside blocks and hits are banned and are going to be eliminated. If I forget what the verbiage is, but if from the upper torso they're not facing you, you can't engage them. Blah 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 blah. So they're going to completely take away the blind side. So just because some guy's not looking at you and it would technically be a legal block, you can't just fucking send that guy into next month. They're going to throw a flag on that shit. So that did get passed today, and that was almost, I believe, unanimous. Owners vote on that one. The onside kick rule that they put into effect last year, basically the kick rules, the new kickoff rules that they put into effect last year are put in as permanent rules this year, which basically means we can put to rest the onside kick, which the onside kick, much like the overtime rules, as I was talking about, that we all grew up with, the onside kick that we've all known, that when you get down to the end of the game, you can load up one side of the field on the kickoff team. You could get a running start with some of the guys. There was things that you could do that would generate the possibility of this bone-jarring hit that would, even if the guy caught the ball before he could get his body to the ground, you could pop that ball out and mayhem could ensue and you could get the ball and oh my God, you got a chance to win the game. That play is dead. You can't get the running start. You can't load up the side of the field anymore on the kickoff team. Everything is now taken away. That play, basically if you do it, the percentages of you getting the ball now is so microscopic that it's a wasted play. The play is dead. The onside kick does not exist anymore. So what they've now put out there, and I forget, I believe it was the Broncos possibly that put this out there. The Broncos or the Ravens, but I'm thinking it was the Broncos. But they put this out there because now you are going to have to give a team an opportunity or a way. Because if you're taking away now the ability to do the onside kick and effectively, because man, if you could effectively execute an onside kick and blow a guy up, it was a very effective play. And you've seen some teams work it to perfection. The kicker could nail it perfect. They get the beautiful bounce, man. It can be worked to an art. Well, that's dead now. So they come up with this shit, and once a game, you are allowed to, after you score a touchdown, once a game, you only get to do this once, from the 35-yard line, you get the ball at a 4th and 15. First down is midfield. If you get the first down, you get to keep the ball. You don't get it, the other team gets the ball from wherever the dead ball ends up. Let me wrap your mind around that for a minute. I heard that this morning, and I was listening to the details, the owners' meeting, and I'm like, did I hear that right? Because that sounds something like somebody really fucking slow made up. like the guy whose duty was like, hey man, we need you to come up with something to replace the onside kick rule. And he's like, fuck, I'm going on vacation this week. I'll hand this one off to my intern, and this is like what he came up with or something. And you're just like, what? The 4th and 15 rule to replace the onside kick. It's like, basically the NFL just wants to take the fucking kick out. They don't want the kick returns. They just want to take that shit out. That's why they killed the onside kick, because they took that collision out. They've done everything they can with the kickoff to take the return away and the enticement of wanting to return the ball because they don't want that major collision. They've done that with the punts. They're tweaking all of those rules because basically those are dangerous plays. It's taking two opposing sides of the field and sending them full speed against each other. And they want to take that full speed collision away if they can. They've got enough of those going on at other parts of the field. They can take it out of the kicking game. So it's hard to tell what this is all going to morph into, but that was killed. The onside kick deal was killed, but the conversation has started with it, and there's been a lot of talk that there's going to be something coming somewhere along that lines to replace the onside kick coming down the pike, and that's just a strange fucking rule, man. Why that? Strange. And biggest news coming out of the NFL owners meeting. It is officially that the Raiders are going to play in Oakland. It was voted on by the owners today, so it is officially official. So all those Raider pages that posted the breaking news of they're going to play in the Dodger Stadium, the Giants Stadium, the Anaheim Angels Stadium, and that you had the hot breaking lead in the inside story. Yeah. Okay, sure you did. Everybody knew that the best percentage option was that they were going to play in Oakland. Regardless, it was the best things for the fan. It was the best things for the constituents of the government. City government in Oakland, the mayor, it was just best for everybody involved. The NFL, it's what the NFL wanted, it's what everybody wanted. So it's officially. The owners have voted it in, and the Raiders are in Oakland. If you haven't checked out our website, you see the address right across the bottom of the screen there, RaiderReaction.com. Check it out. Check out the Raider Reaction shop. We got new stuff popping in there. I was on spring break all weekend with the fam, but I'm getting packages and everything ready, doing shipping before the end of the week of all the packages we got going out. All contest winners, all prize packs, and all orders from the shop are all going out this week. So if you want to get an order in, get one in. We've got orders going out here all over the rest of the week. So check out RaiderReaction.com. It's got all the news information about the page, all the links to all of our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And check out the shop. Pick yourself up a shirt. Come on, look fresh. Get you some stickers. Tag up your ride. But check us out. Check out the website. And it's got all of our shows, links to, so you can subscribe to them, so it'll let you know when we're on, remind you, so you don't forget, so you don't miss out. So check it out, subscribe, all that good stuff. But check out RaiderReaction.com is the new home. It's our central fort. Ooh, I'm getting there, Rick. I'm getting there, brother. And before I move on, thank each and every one of you for joining me. As I'm getting there, Bill. We're going running back here in a second, fellas. Hold on. Bear with me. But thank you all for joining me, as always, each and every one of you. Lines, Leslie, T. Courts, all of you guys. Thank you all for joining me, each and every one of you. Our band of pirates. Thank you. As always. Without you guys, we would be nothing. We'd just be a bunch of schmucks talking to the wall. So, thank you for joining us, as always. Raider Nation. Now, moving on. We talked about it. I said there was no way I thought any way whatsoever. It's the death sentence. It's the death sentence when you hear a team say, we're going to let them explore free agency. When you hear that, and a player of the caliber of your only Pro Bowl player from the year before, Jared Cook, I said from the giddy up, I doubt very highly he's back. And we're getting there, Andrew. Bear with me. You just got to hang around to the end of the show. 30 more minutes. Hook it up. We got a lot to talk about. We got running backs. We got the new player signings. I'm going to run down the whole list of new player signings. So hang out till the end, and we'll get you informed. But Jared Cook signs a 2-year deal with the Saints, worth $15.5 million. Like I said, you send a player of that caliber out of the house, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. You ain't coming back. You can't send a guy out like that. You just can't. They're not going to come back. So, unfortunately, that leaves a bit of a hole. A bit of a hole at tight end. You've got Lee Smith, Derek Carrier, and Darren Waller, who... Those are the kind of prototypical tight ends that John Gruden typically likes. He likes your NFL prototypical tight end. Hard-nosed, great blocker, helps in the running game, and can catch a pass once in a while if you need to. He went and got Terrell Williams and Antonio Brown for a reason. He's not planning on looking at the tight end as being a big piece of the passing game. I'm telling you. They're going to get a few passes, but that's not what John Gruden does with his tight end. He's going to help in the running game. And I really believe we're going to upgrade at fullback as well to help out with that as well. So, Cook is gone. It's official. 2-year deal, $15.5 million with the Saints. He's done. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Best of luck to you, Jay Cook. But he's gone. He's gone. Now, been a bunch of drama going on with Antonio Brown over the last couple days. Twitter beefs and shit with Juju, James Conner, as they're out sticking up for their boy Big Ben. Mike Tomlin's taking little parting shots. It's all a bunch of childish bullshit between guys that aren't on the same team anymore. It's interesting how that they don't play each other this season. So if it spills into a playoff game, maybe. But other than that, it's just a bunch of shit. So move on. Move on. Pelion, it's hard to tell. The replacement may already be there. Or, I would say there's a possibility of drafting a late round project tight end that fits in that mix. Or maybe there's a reason, Lee Smith has been signed back, and you've got Derek Carrier, and you've got Darren Waller, you've got Paul Butler, also in the depth chart at tight end. So you've got 4 guys already on roster. It's hard to tell. I'd say it's a fair question. What has been proven since last season is we definitely have no idea what is going on in the mind of John Gruden. And now that you've added Mike Mayock in the mix, man, you really have no idea what is going on. That is 100% for sure. That's 100% for sure. But what we're looking at so far, man, free agency has looked good. Free agency has looked good. You've seen the Raiders name popping up more than you've seen any other's team popping up through and staying in the news through free agency. We've been active. We've been making moves. And as Andrew asked, let me give you a little rundown of who we've picked up. Most recently, we've added to the quarterback depth chart. As obviously we weren't going with the Peter Man, was not going to be the Peter Man here. He's body on practice squad, so you can send guys on blitz to hopefully, he's basically like a fucking tackling dummy. I think that's all we brought that guy over for. We went and picked up Mike Glennon, who Mike Glennon has spent his last action as an Arizona Cardinal. He didn't get a lot of action. He only attempted 21 passes. He did get 1 touchdown, no interceptions in the 2018 season. He got the shaft as they brought him in from Tampa Bay. Looked like he was going to be the man in Chicago, and then he was standing at the draft as they drafted Mitch Trubisky, and basically was like, somebody take that knife out of my back, as he was standing at the draft. So we picked up Napoleon Dynamite. And the thing is, he's had some action and some fairly decent records. He had a season in 2013 for Tampa Bay that he threw 19 touchdowns and only 9 interceptions, and started 13 games. So he does have NFL starting experience. So having him behind Carr, listen, he's a stopgap. If he's got to see the fucking field, things have went downhill already, okay? So basically you need a guy who can just step in and not fuck things up and not freak out under center. And Mike Glennon can do that. So I'm okay with that. Landry Jones, he's the guy you bring in who he doesn't have a lot of reps, period. He's barely seen any action at all. He had 28 attempts last year. His most action, he had 86 attempts in 2016. He's seen some spotty action. I don't think either one are the future lines. It's all right. It's okay. It'll be all right. Lines is like, game over. He's like, wait a second. Back the truck up. No, they're not our future. What they are going to do is those two are going to battle it out to see if they're worthy of being backup quarterback. And who can hold the clipboard the best? And who can plug the gap? If what? who can plug the gap the best if they come in? So interesting signings. But when you're shopping for a backup quarterback, it's an interesting market, really. I mean, you're looking for a guy that you hope never sees the field. So it's just kind of you're looking for a guy that you hope is good that never plays. So it's just an interesting hire in general. So you usually see interesting names that get hired for backup quarterbacks, but I honestly still believe there will be one drafted in this draft. Mark, I'll put my name on it, damn it. I call it. There will be a quarterback drafted in this class. Somewhere up and down. We'll be there. I believe it. Damn you, Leslie. I believe it. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I believe somewhere in the mix, we're going to throw that young project quarterback in there. That 3rd rounder, that 4th rounder, that you can have that project with. So, I really believe that. Now, along with that, we've picked up Antonio Brown. Terrell Williams is the other big pickup. J.J. Nelson from Arizona. A speedster, but he's got no better stats than Seth Roberts has, so he's a faster version of Seth Roberts. Whether he has better hands and we can get a little more productivity out of him remains to be seen. Still have Seth Roberts, so what we're going to do with him, I don't know. Trent Brown, obviously, the made him one of the highest, I believe the highest paid offensive lineman in the league. I still 100% put my mark on that. I believe he's going to be left tackle, and you're going to move Colton Miller over to right. You don't pay that kind of money for a right tackle. I'm telling you. You don't pay that kind of money for a right tackle. I don't think Gruden liked the hits that Colton Miller was allowing on the blind side last year. He proved he can't handle the speed, edge, rush of the number one pass rusher on the edge from the other side of the ball. He was getting burned around the edge repeatedly. Too many blindside hits to Derek Carr. I'm telling you, they moved him to right. And this guy's Trent Brown's our new left tackle. You wait. I'm telling you. Vontaze Burfict, obviously we picked him up. We talked all about that, so I don't need to go into any crazy detail on that. Jordan Debbie from the Chiefs, brought him over on a one-year deal. He's another offensive lineman to help sew up the offensive line issues. Trying to help out the defensive secondary, we brought over LaMarcus Joyner, probably going to be one of your starting safeties with Carl Joseph. Also brought over Curtis Riley on a one-year deal from the Giants to fit him in back there, safety as well. And does he make the team? We'll see. But he's going to be figuring in the mix back there in safety as well. Also picked up this week was Nevin Lawson from the Lions on a one-year deal. I know. I did see that Lions. $300,000 is all Vontaze is guaranteed. And I'm telling you, Vontaze, it's a perfect signing. And the reason it is, it's a one-year deal. It's not a lot of guaranteed money. We're not putting a lot of risk out there. The highest you're going to pay him is, I believe, up to $5. And it's not a big risk because he's got a horrible track record. Not a lot of people are standing in line to sign that guy. He goes out there and burns a bridge with another team. Even less teams are going to want to sign that guy, and then nobody's going to want to pay him a lot of money. So if he goes out, has a great season, keeps his nose clean with his old defensive coordinator, he'll get probably a 3-year deal at the end of the year. 3-year deal. Reggie Nelson will not still be here, Rick. Reggie Nelson will not still be here. The reason Reggie Nelson might stay around through training camp again this season and be a camp body is because he knows Paul Guenther's system. He's a Paul Guenther guy from Cincinnati, and Guenther loves him. And he can help teach LaMarcus Joyner, your Curtis Rileys, your guys like that, the system that he's still trying to implement and get these guys to understand. So you may see him stay around as a mentor, but I'm telling you, there's no way in fucking hell we're going to see Reggie Nelson on the field this season. I do not believe it. That guy gets shelved. He's got to go. He's got to get cut. Absolutely. He's got to go. Got to go. No way. No way. I agree. This blindside deal and Burfict is that's interesting, my man. It's interesting. So now, who did I miss? I think I hit every. Oh, Josh Marrow, defensive end, also picked up to help sew up the defensive line. Brought him over from the Giants. So most of these guys were signed to one-year deals. It's still a big audition for Vegas. We've plugged and we made a lot of changes thus far. We're trying to plug holes, but it's still a work in progress for Vegas. Absolutely 100%. Still a work in progress for Vegas. So, we will see. We will see how it shakes out. Still a work in progress. 100%. So, that's basically our rundown of new players that we've brought in and new in the fold. Obviously, we've brought some players back. We're getting to that right now, Edward. We're getting to that right now. After this shameless plug. If you have not come to the dark side yet and joined the official group of Raider Reaction, our official Facebook group, the Raider Reaction Empire, click on the group tab on our Facebook page and come to the dark side. We've been expecting you. The Raider Reaction Empire. It's real, raw, uncensored. It's not one of them Raider groups where you click on it and you get 20 questions. Who's your favorite Raider? Who's the current coach? Will you respect other people? Will you not post Raider goods? No. It's not one of those groups where you post something and somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder, one of the admins or the moderators, and be, listen, you can't post that. Listen, she's too scantily clad. I can see half a butt cheek, and that's not allowed. No, that's allowed. Who doesn't like a scantily clad Raiderette? Hell, if you Raiderettes want to post up scantily clad men, I mean, it's not what I want to look at, but hey, touche. Enjoy. It's a fucking free country. It's real. It's raw. Uncensored. Come to the dark side. Join the official group of Raider Reaction. Come talk about the team that you love in an environment that's just a little bit on the dark side of Raider Nation. We're just a little on the edge. Who doesn't like a nice Raiderette butt cheek? I mean, come on. There will be no reporting. I've had what, two posts reported in the group, and I'm just at both of them. I was just like, come on now. So join it up now. It's been brought up. Several of you have brought it up. Let's get into it. The biggest news is Isaiah Crowell is scheduled for a visit. He's coming in-house. He's one of the top free agent running backs that are still out there. There's not a lot of top free agent running backs still on the market. So he's obviously one of them. We've got to bring somebody in. We've been talking about it. Exactly, Tony. Basic freedom of speech. It's such an odd concept anymore, isn't it? It's crazy. And if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of for it a little bit here. We're a little rated MA, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a place for everything. You know, hey, I like to put it right out there. Because if you don't like it, you came in the same way. And leave the same way you came in. It's cool. So, when you start looking at who's out there, man, you got, other than Isaiah Crowell, you've got Bilal Powell, you've got Corey Grant, Chris Ivory, LeGarrette Blount, Spencer Ware, Jacquizz Rodgers. I mean, that's the cream of the crop right there, ladies and gentlemen, that are still left out there on the free agent market. So you don't have anybody. You want Doug Martin again? I don't want to see Doug Martin again. See Doug Martin do what? What's up, Raymond? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Raymond had back surgery, and hope you're doing well, my man. I believe, I see my schedule was screwed up last night, so I wasn't able to do Madden Monday, and Raymond's my competitor this week. So I hope he's not using this as a way to dodge our game and delay it. Just kidding, Raymond. Just kidding. I'm trying to get Raymond set up for a Saturday night doubleheader. Commish Jr.'s got his Madden game for this week in our Madden Challenge, and I got mine. We're going to try to hook those up Saturday night so everybody can join and hopefully watch me beat down on Raymond. God, we both need a win desperately. But back to our running back situation. Doug Martin. Doug Martin is not the answer. I don't want to see Doug Martin again, man. Put a twist tie on Doug Martin. Set his ass on the curb, please. Recycle him. Set him right next to Donald Penn. I don't need to see Doug Martin. The best I ever seen out of Doug Martin I seen 3-4 years ago is a buck. I don't need to see him. Please let him go. Done with him. Marshawn Lynch. I am on record as I want to see beast mode for one more year. Man, the stars have aligned. Marshawn Lynch was shelved for an injury that he could have come back from last season if he wasn't coming back to a dumpster fire. So they put him on injury reserve. He didn't get a lot of wear last season. Didn't take a beating. That man's going to be fresh. The door is still open for Marshawn, says John Gruden at the NFL owners meeting today. The door is still open for Marshawn. What does that mean? And then you hear the reports come out that they're waiting till after the draft for the deal. Let me tell you something. Marshawn Lynch still has one season. But he's a guy that doesn't need to be at training camp. He doesn't need to be at the majority of preseason. He will come out and play. So I see that getting delayed. It's just the last year a team, an NFL team, historically will probably play in Oakland. This is it. This is the last ride in his hometown. His dream was to play as an Oakland Raider, to hoist the Lombardi Trophy as an Oakland Raider. That's why he came back. He wanted to do this for the town. Every season a story is written. Is that this year's story? Is that a big part of it? Beast Mode's last ride in Oaktown? Could be. Did you bring Isaiah Crowell in the mix anyway? And you bring in Marshawn Lynch. You can get Marshawn Lynch on a fairly cheap deal for 1 year. Did you bring him in, incentive laden, and bring in Isaiah Crowell? You need more. I know everybody's got a hard on for Chris Warren III. Chris Warren III. Man, did you see Chris Warren III in preseason last year? Man. Yeah, I seen him. Second string, third string, fourth string defenses, vanilla schemes. I seen it. I seen great stats in games that meant nothing. And then I seen a guy who went down and never saw any action in the regular season. Now, I liked what I seen too. I liked the optimism. I liked what I seen too. But what I seen, it was really raw. And I see him more as a project back. And that's the other thing, Dan. Daniel took words right out of my mouth. He came in big, not necessarily in the best of shape for coming into this season. And he's up about 30 pounds. So we'll see. We'll see. I think he's a project back. I think I think he's on your active roster, but I think he's at the bottom of it. I think you only bring back one of D. Wash and Richard. You decide, you make that decision this year. You bring them both back again. You got them both healthy, and you can only keep. They're basically the same. They're basically the same body type. I thought D-Wash had the lead coming into last preseason. Then he goes down. Richard actually ended up having a really good season. Fixed a lot of his fumble issues from the year before, although they crept in a little towards the end of the year. But still, as a whole, had a really good season as one of our bright spots. So I would say Richard has a little bit of an edge now over D-Wash. But I say you got to pick one. You got to choose one. And if it's Richard, then D-Wash is out. Doug Martin is already on the curb with a twist tie, waiting for the recycling truck. You sign Isaiah Crowell. You bring back Beast Mode. And maybe you find that late round running back to throw in and be your other project back. You work in, be your practice squad guy. Something like that. So, we'll see. We'll see. But it's running back is we've really running back and wide receiver were two big positions that really need to be addressed. We've completely revamped the wide receiver core. Running back's going to be next. Running back's going to be next. 100%. Special teams. What do we need D-Wash for special teams for, though, Thomas? We've got Dwayne Harris. We brought him back. We brought Dwayne Harris back. Is basically he's our return guy. He was the most electric returner last season. One of them in the league. And it had the biggest play of our season against the Broncos. So, oh, Daniel, that conversation is coming, my man. That conversation is coming. As we're creeping up on draft time, we will be getting knee-deep in some draft conversation. So you have to come back for that one. That's too deep of a question. That's way too deep of a question. But make sure you stay tuned to the page. We've got a lot of stuff coming up this week. I missed last Black Friday because I was out on spring break with the family, so I'm going to have a badass Black Friday for you this week. James Raider held it down last week. Had a great game on. Had the freaking old mud game against the Queefs, and it was a great game. So make sure you check it out. I'm still confirming with Prime if he's going to be in the house tomorrow night for Ghost of the Post, or if we'll do something else as well. I've still got I'm going to be doing an exclusive Q&A show in the Raider Reaction Empire group. So if you're in the group, I'm going to be posting it to the events, so everybody will see it if you're in the group. It's going to be coming up one of these evenings here this week to celebrate the fact we've hit over 2,000 members in the Raider Reaction Empire. Actually, I think we've already eclipsed 2,100. The amount of people joining the group on a daily basis is freaking it's insane. It just keeps growing, man. It keeps growing. It's the kind of group. It's the kind of group you want to belong to. We don't tap you on the shoulder. We don't tell you can't do that. We simply give you a forum that's basically an extension of the forum we provide here. It's real. It's raw. It's fucking censored. You can say what you want. Speak your fucking mind. I speak mine. We wanted to provide you a forum so you guys can speak yours right along with us. Because you can't always post your stuff to the page, so we wanted to give you a group where you can post your stories that you find, your graphics, all that cool shit, and then it gives us somewhere, we can throw your stuff, cool stuff up that you make up on the page and give you guys credit for it as well. And yeah, you got Raider swag you want to throw up in there? Oh, fuck a Chargers troll. You can't even put the term Chargers and troll together, Jukebox, because a Charger does not even deserve the moniker of troll. Because they're not even on that status. They can't troll anybody, so they can't be one. They're fucking irrelevant. They're like lint on your nutsack. That's a Chargers fan. Completely irrelevant. Planted firmly at the kitty table. Sparklers. Oh, bam. Check out that website, man. Check it out. I've got a bunch of new stuff coming up. The month of April, I plan on throwing a lot of shit in the shop. There's going to be a lot of stuff flying up there. I've got some stuff in the works. I'm hooking up with some other folks that make Raider merchandise that we can kind of give you some sort of like a little more of like a marketplace in there. So you can get our gear. You'll be able to get some custom-made Raider stuff there as well. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Things are gearing up in the background. I've always got the wheels turning, if you haven't noticed. I'm always working on something. So as 2019 season approaches, the Raider Reaction team and the Raider Reaction Hype team are getting our shit ready together too. So, like I said, everybody, like Lions, who's waiting for your stuff, everything's going out this week. Everything will be out at the latest by this weekend. And I'll have purged everything, because now we've officially got everything in the shop all set up and everything's going well. So I'm purged and we're ready to go. So, and I second Caesar as well. Says, fuck your team. Now, I like to end every one of my shows with a special little segment that I like to call the WTF. Now, I already did a WTF on this once recently, but I have to do it again. Robert Kraft now came out the other day and apologized. Came out with a press conference, said he was sorry. Said he was sorry. Didn't say what he's sorry for, but he wanted to come out and say he was sorry. Sorry. Usually, I'm sorry is followed by I'm sorry for, and the sentence continues. But that's not what happens. And then it was also, he goes and pleads not guilty to the charge. Not guilty. Not guilty for soliciting a prostitution. My man, they have you on tape. They have you on tape. So now what this means is they came out, they offered him a deal that nobody else in the world would get. And he refused. All you had to do is come out and say, yeah, I did it, admit guilt, and they wouldn't even charge him. Who gets that kind of deal? He didn't take that. So now, he's now pled not guilty. He's now pushing the envelope. So you know what this means? You know what this means? Is now, it's going to get leaked. It's going to be everywhere. And they're going to shove that video of Bobby Kraft shoving his nasty wrinkled member down some couple old Asian ladies. It's going to be everywhere. Does he not understand by taking the stance that he has that is now going to be all that tape is going to get out? You better fucking believe it. And we are all going to be sitting there like the train wreck that it is. Like, what the fuck? Oh, dude. You were offered a deal for breaking the law that all you had to do was come out and say, yeah, I'm sorry, man, I did it. And they dropped the charges? Who the fuck gets that deal? Oh, my God. What the fuck? Man, I can't believe that's almost as pathetic as this Chargers or this other troll who Eric douchebag that hung around till the end of the show. If it is so pathetic and I'm so classless, why are you still here? You wasted 30 minutes of your life watching and listening to me, somebody you couldn't stand, and couldn't stand anything I had to say. What does that say for you in your life, pal? I'm sorry. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned to the page. We will let you know what goes on for tomorrow night. You're still here. You pathetic, pathetic bastard. You're still here. Thank you for joining me as always, each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even you, Eric Bell. You pathetic, pathetic douchebag. Hey, I hear your mom calling you. She's saying come out of the basement. I think she's got your crustless sandwich ready. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.